Oh boy. And we wait for no, he's just running late because that's how he likes to roll. I just messaged him. He's like, "Oh yeah, be right there." I think he just forgot. That's all right. I didn't remind him today. Welcome.
I'm just not in the right Wednesday.
I know.
mindset.
It's all right.
You texted me like 5 minutes before.
Well, I didn't want to intrude. I wanted to be like, I didn't want to bother.
I was like just doing jack shit, sitting around. Like,
well, at least your computer turns on today. All right, because
no, it wasn't off. I never turn off my computer, so it worked great. What's up, team? How's it going? It's me. Only 2 minutes late.
Only. That's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
It's fine. So not ready. Thanks for jumping on, Rolls. Look at that. Look at this.
Yeah, I was in here just farting around getting the multicam set.
Did you the multicam?
What up?
Now you've got the big microphone in your face. This is not the camera view I want anymore. We got
We gotta lower it.
We gotta get the boom mic out of the shot. Mike with the mic. Get out of the shot.
How's that?
No, that's not.
Is my audio still good?
Oh my gosh! Look, he just look at it.
Yeah, I know, right? Look, it's professional. I've got a whole mobile setup. This cart right here is just the show. It's just the show. I can like wheel it out of the way.
I like how there's like barely room for you, with all the monitors and arcades.
Oh come on! There's tons of room. There's all sorts of room. Look at this. Like I can even get up. Look at this.
You gotta like.
Check it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
So much room for activities. Look.
Yeah.
He's like, yes, squeeze around. Yes. It looks like you're getting out of a Ford Focus, Joe. Are you kidding?
Oh, come on. Tons of room. Tons of room in here, man.
It's hilarious.
Oh, man.
That's good stuff. Yes, exactly, Rolls. It's hilarious. Yeah. I'm gonna just let you know that it is like 25 degrees cooler in my basement than it is upstairs. So I'm gonna grab a sweater. Did you already roll the credits?
No. Get this. We're this
roll
is
the
the
sweater. Roll the credits and I'll get the sweater. Hey, okay. Everybody, it's me.
All right, let's roll these credits. Roll the bean footage. Let's go. Welcome to the Mid-Geek Crisis, episode 205. I want to let you know that I am not pregnant, so you don't have to worry. You don't have to keep looking at the camera, the lighting, to make sure if I'm pregnant or not while I'm doing this show.
Oh, are we talking about the Super Who Cares?
Oh, man. I love that. It's like, is it interesting? Like, I guess a man could have done the show, right? Could have done a halftime show. No one would have questioned anything on him. Like if he had, if like Ozzy Osbourne would have come out like, oh, I'm the mold, like, I barely function here, but like, oh, Ozzy looks great. Ozzy looks great. You know, he's still doing good. Rihanna comes out and she, you know, she doesn't do wardrobe changes or anything, and everyone's like, is she pregnant? Is she pregnant? Like, really? Is this where we're at?
This is how shitty. Also, you're right. Like, I think you're right. If they dug up Billy Joel from whatever tomb he's got a phylactery, he can come out and perform, right?
Billy Idol. No. Who could have Rod Stewart? They could have brought Rod Stewart out, wheeled him out like in a sarcophagus, and everyone would have been like, "Oh yeah, he's looking good.
He looks great.
Yeah, he can still perform. That's amazing."
I so don't care. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
I know.
People should be allowed to like things.
Yeah.
You know what I like? How empty everything is when I go outside during the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Enjoy that. Be grateful for those kind of things for sure.
I do. I love it.
Oh man. So how was your Saint Valentine's Day?
It was good. Low key. Nothing. I've been married for like 10,000 years. It's been great.
Yeah. I mean, the same here. I mean, we had Thai takeout. We had some Thai takeout, and are you chopping or is it me? Who's chopping? What's going on?
Oh, I don't know. You're coming in loud and clear. Am I chopping?
Okay.
I don't know.
All right, now you're clear now. You're clear now.
I'm plugged in, so I don't know if it's
fair enough.
It is what it is. Yeah, so my Valentine's Day was low key. We've got a sitter for next weekend, so that's when we're gonna go out and celebrate. So it's all about. Half of Valentine's Day candy was good. It's true. Everything that's off after Valentine's is pretty nice. My email, I feel like the spam in my inbox was a glorious mix of Valentine's Day sales for things unrelated to Valentine's Day, like I don't know, tax services, and I'm sitting there being like, what? Yeah, I know taxes are around the corner, but why am I getting discounts on it because of Valentine's Day?
Oh,
right?
it's so funny how that works out, right? Like
go to Lowe's and also get tax services on Valentine's Day. I was like, all right, well, they know I'm a man over the age of 40 who needs to do my taxes. I get it, but still, I hate my inbox now. Hate it.
Yeah, I don't. I had a buddy of mine who insisted. So you know, I joined his fantasy league, right? So you know the D&D, tabletop for jocks, right?
Yes. You know what's cool? Most of the fantasy league and sports gambling websites are not blocked by my work, but the D&D websites are.
Of course, they are
for gaming, and I'm like, isn't gambling gaming?
Yeah.
All right. Someone here must need access to sports websites.
So you know, I joined his fantasy league begrudgingly because I was already part of one, and I was like, all right, we'll do this. And he insisted on communication through email.
Oh wow! Okay.
And I was just like, what year is this? Like, what are we still doing? Do you want a newsletter? Do you want to do a forum post? Like a BBS maybe? Some sort of.
Well, the nice thing about email is that you can control it, right? So like email, you can set yourself up to only check email when you're checking email, while like Discord and Instagram and Facebook, all these things just bling and plong all the time.
Right, but again, you're giving email too much credit because it depends on the email client you're using. So if you're using your phone, you're still going to get notifications. And B, all of those applications that you mentioned have on and off switches, just like the email applications have on and off switches. Perfect example, our Discord, which everyone can join, by the way.
Throw it up. That's
go to the link right down below. There is a Discord server up and running. It has notifications turned off by default. I did it on purpose because we are adults and we don't want to be bing and bombed all day. So the downside to that is if you are in a chat and you won't hear the notifications, so we're talking about as slow as email. So the best way to do that is if you like a channel, go ahead and turn on the notifications yourself. And that is how you manage your.
We prefer that you opt into a life of distraction.
Right.
To opt out.
That's right. That's right.
Also, if you're in there on the Discord, you can always tag one of us, as I have tag. If you tag my name, I will definitely see the notification.
Right. Also, and whoever you're wanting to talk to will give you the notification for sure.
That's the A with the circle around it for the old folks.
Yeah, the ampersand. No, ampersand is the and. But what's the? Yeah, no. Right.
Ampersand is the and between D and D.
Yeah, D. So what's the
accent sign? I have no idea what it was called before that. It's always.
I know it has a name. Adam, you're in this chat. Come on, you're old hat. There's a name for it.
Yeah, Joe is life from the dopest mall arcade of 19.
What's going on?
What's up, Pika Pika?
Yeah, no. I've even got the matching carpet, by the way.
No, I saw that. I think I got that skin in Animal Crossing from my arcade floor.
Absolutely,
it's very nice.
For sure. The lighting is better this time around. I turned on the lights. I had some
lighting is better. Camera is better. The other angle's not as good, but that's okay. I like the long shot. I'm actually using an iPhone for my webcam because Mac OS now allows you to just kind of connect to it and it becomes a secondary iPhone. Like a webcam. So that was our Macintosh Apple plug for the night. Thanks.
Boom, there we go. Oh, we still got the wide angle view up here. Hi everyone. Hi.
I've got other angles too.
There you go. Man, high tech.
You can email me at.
You can guess his email, folks. It's not exactly the hardest email on the planet.
Dude, I've had that email address forever. Yeah, absolutely.
Are my cords hidden there? Where? Like here? I mean,
he's got one running across though. I see the cable right from between your iPad and your.
Yeah. So there's definitely some short cables going on here, but on the little station here, there's only one power cord, right? So and the only other one is the cable connected to that camera up there. But
so I have this crazy question. When we're playing D&D together, why are you not on this setup?
I was on the setup last time. I was on the couch though.
Right, you're not on the setup then.
Well, I mean, I wasn't in here. I wasn't in this room. No, I mean, I didn't want to. Also, can we talk about Roll20 for a second? Roll20 is got the most awful camera setup, and also it crops you. So if you have this camera, it would still only show
it's
this much of the camera. So yeah.
Hey, what's up?
Right. So it's wasted.
It is. It's just you're so much smoother and you work so well in this setup here in this room for some reason. Well, the last one you were dropping off.
Appreciate it.
Cautious at AOL.com.
That's exactly right.
I turned that one off. I went to this glorious new thing called Hotmail.com.
Is your Hotmail account still active?
It might be.
I might be.
What the password is.
Oh man, Juno, Prodigy. There we go, Prodigy. I had a Prodigy.
There was also nyc.rr.com. Cautious.
Yeah, at nyc.rr.com. Everyone had their
Roadrunner.
Oh, Juno. It was a net zero at net zero because you have to use those pennies.
Oh, I didn't have a net zero though. I never had a net zero. Sorry, didn't take advantage.
That was the poor folk internet where it was dial up, but it was almost like prepaid pennies. You can
Earthlink is what I remember too. Earthlink had a similar sort of
stuff. Just paid with change. Oh man. So speaking of the Super Bowl, I made the Super Bowl.
Don't know how good it is.
Yeah, I know, man. I find it infinitely hilarious that pre-COVID, a lot of the major companies like AT&T and Xfinity and Spectrum, and I'm sure some of them in different markets still do this. So I'm speaking outside of some people are gonna be like, no, wait, they still do this. They were charging still. They were trying to limit the amount of bandwidth you were consuming. And of course, after, during COVID, they turned all that off because they were like, we are going to be the villains. We're going to be more villainous than normal because everyone's working from home. Everyone needs the internet. Also, they were charging for nothing. Like broadband is you were already on. It's not like you using more bandwidth was costing them more money.
I think if they could charge us for air and the butt upon which I sit, they would.
Joe. Oh, they would. Absolutely, they would. But it was that in between time where like the speeds were going faster, but they were like, well, we're giving you more speed, but we can't give you infinite internet. We have to charge you.
Okay.
So yeah, some companies were doing that. They were metering connections, which
I remember metering connections. It's like the old minutes from back in the day, right? Where you had unlimited minutes was a big deal.
Yeah. And
there you go, Rose. Yeah, the Spirit Airlines of ISPs. We're gonna nickel and dime you.
That's Xfinity or Spectrum or any of those two at least. So, AT&T's gotten better, I think, because
every time I get junk mail from Spectrum, I open it up and I rip it in half, and my beautiful daughter's always like, why do you do that? I'm like, I hate Spectrum so much.
So here's my question to you: how much junk mail do you get from Spectrum?
At least once a week, if not twice a week.
And do you get like the really nice, like expensive mailers? Like sometimes you get
solid plastic
card. I'm like, who's paying for this? They obviously know I'm already on like 2 gigabit of Frontier. They can't even match me. No. So what are they doing? They're just spending all this money. I don't understand the amount of money they spend on mailers.
It must work. Yeah, Dan, I've gotten the one that looks like a wedding invitation. It's very weird what they try to do. I mean, like I walk it into my house and it goes right into the recycle box.
Yeah,
like I just right.
Yeah, I'm the same reaction you get with the. I'm like, I hate it so much. I hate it so much. But what makes me angry isn't the fact that it's like a simple mailer. It's like something. It's just expensive junk mail.
Oh yeah, the hard plastic ones drive me insane because I can't rip them in half.
I can't rip them in half, and also that it makes me angry the amount of like money they spent, the amount of like carbon emissions were created to like send all this junk mail. Because if I got it, my neighbor got it.
Oh yeah, everyone that doesn't have Spectrum in your neighborhood got it.
How many pounds of extra junk mail were added?
I could turn that into terrain though. It's like a nice plastic. I could probably slice it up and use to make terrain.
Sure, recycle it, do whatever you want. I mean,
yeah.
I get at least one or two times a week. I get some sort of
1 or 2 times a week. I get Spectrum.
And it doesn't just come to me. It comes to me and like maybe a previous tenant.
Meanwhile, I did my annual phone call to Verizon and say my bill's too high, and they lowered it. I love Verizon.
There you go.
Like, I'm not a big fan of how high this bill is, and they lowered it.
What cracks me up is I moved to a different city for my first job apartment, had Comcast there, moved back to a city that doesn't have Comcast. I got called for a solid year afterwards asking me to switch back. Gave up trying to explain to them that even if I wanted Spectrum, I physically can't get it. Yeah.
They suck.
Where I used to live in Syracuse, where Pedro lives now, there is, I mean, I don't know how it is now, but when I first moved there, the block I was on had fiber. Mm-hmm. The block next to me did not.
Yep.
So it was interesting. It was certain blocks, certain streets had the contract with Verizon Fios, and not everyone did. So it was interesting that, I could have it, my neighbor probably couldn't have it.
Yep.
And also, they offered TV, but I couldn't get the TV package because the contract for my address, while they could sell internet, they couldn't sell TV. That had to go through
because they're built-in monopolies. It's pretty insane. Dan says I had Vonage and had to yell at them to cancel my service because I didn't have internet. They kept trying to give me free months. I don't have internet, right? Right. Thank you for giving me free nothing.
Yeah. Is it? Have we not, like, out of all the bills and stuff that comes out, this is more geek topic, because just in general, out of all the random litigation that goes out online and goes into like Congress and the Senate and whatever else, has no one attempted to like pass some sort of law that says you can't create an online service but not have an online method of cancellation?
No. Why would they do that with the lobbyists handing them so much money to prevent that from happening?
Right.
Or my favorite are the companies that do have an online cancellation service, but it's so obtuse and difficult, right? They keep moving the confirm button to different places, and you're like, wait, did I just hit no? I gotta start over.
No, you signed up for 4 years. What happened? Oh, man. I did get 6 months for right. So that's what's interesting is some of these ISPs and services and whatever else, they have so many contracts that their incentives, or they're like, oh, don't leave us, is to like throw free
Oh, yeah.
months of random things at you. So
Yeah, and I've done the thing where I say, so you're telling me you can lower my bill for a year just because I'm trying to cancel? Why don't you just lower my bill? Like, why do I have to go through this song and dance with you?
yeah, chance that that they
please don't cancel. We'll lower it. We'll bring it back to where it was before. I'm so sorry.
One of the jobs I worked at many moons ago, that department was called retention.
Yeah.
So you were sent to the retention department. So cancellation was retention. So you would get sent to retention, and the entire purpose was to like appease them. Oh, well, what's going on? Why are you? Because what? Our internet sucks. Oh, we're so sorry. It sucks. How do we make it suck less? How about would you like a $25 gift card?
You pay for FiOS, baby.
Oh, there you go. I mean, as geeks, I think it's a badge of honor. Most of us, a good percentage, have worked through as an internet service provider or tech support for some sort of like ISP.
Thank God I have not. I mean, not thank God I have not.
Service,
I wasn't thank God.
That's awesome. That's awesome. But then, of course, you have to fight them and say that no, you didn't use any of it, and they're like, no, but it was on. You never really confirmed that you canceled, so the address was still. They were still pumping the freaking internet to that location. For sure.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
What modern and ridiculously stupid problems?
Right. For sure. Speaking of modern ridiculous, the Super Bowl happened. Or the big game. Are people not even say Super Bowl without the proper like license or whatever? Anyway.
It turns out people get really upset when you call it a Super Bowl.
A Super Bowl?
Yeah. They're like, no, it's a Super Bowl. I'm like, what? No, I'm pretty sure it's Super Bowl because they throw a ball around. And
we've agreed that it's the superb owl, and that just works better, right? Like if you want the big game, right? You can always tell when a company didn't get the license or isn't affiliated with the NFL or didn't do anything when they're like, "Are you ready to buy your food for the big game coming?" Dun, 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 dun. They do some.
We should do these advertisements.
Yeah.
With the like sound,
but it's like just tweaked wrong. Like it's the NFL, like, but it's like off pitch. It's like backwards or reversed or whatever. I love it. And with all of that said, I know you said you don't watch it, whatever, but one of the things that you do like is how quiet it is, how, the streets are quiet because everyone's out watching the game. Or
yeah. Unless you're in Philly after the game, I guess.
The Super Bowl, which is interesting, it has become an American thing. It is one of the most American of like
events. It's an
event. It's an event, a holiday. What do you
may as well be July 4th.
It may as well be July 4th. It is actually more patriotic and American than 4th of July. I think. I mean, we get the national anthem, we get giant flags, we get flyovers by bombers that cost us billions of dollars in tax,
and we get artery clogging snacks galore,
right? I mean, everyone for weeks on end, it's cooking show after morning show after whatever is like, here's the new dip recipe for the big game, whatever. But one of the other things is they're trying to market it to everyone, right? So it's also, as you who worked in marketing and logistics and all of that kind of stuff, that Super Bowl Sunday is kind of become the almost de facto first run of new advertising.
Yep.
It's where they
unleash for a lot of campaigns. Yep.
Right. Kick off for a lot of campaigns. And that's where Pepsi, Mountain Dew, Coke, all of them either announce or release either a new commercial, a new product, a new flavor. Doritos announced they've got a barbecue now, like a barbecue flavor chip.
That's a good way to put it, Dan. It is the Black Friday of marketing.
Right. But they've also have to find a way to kind of entice people that aren't sport fans, right? So if you like beer, but you don't like, you're either going to get beer, you're going to get snacks, you're going to get food. And now it's also become the day where almost every new movie is releasing their trailer, right?
Because they got 6 million eyeballs.
They got 6 million eyeballs going on it, right? So
a lot more like 25 million eyeballs.
Like it's a ton. It's so much. It's ridiculous. So this Sunday, of course, outside of the Rihanna concert that happened at halftime, which you might have been a fan of, and that's what you watched the game for, and then after that you tune off because you can actually see the rating drop after halftime.
Yeah.
We got teasers and trailers for Fast 10. We've got the new Guardians of the Galaxy, The Flash, Transformers. I mean, there was just a wave
of Transformers. Jeez,
yeah. So
all right, there we go. Dan, the knowledge tells us it's 113 million.
Dan, you're great. You're producing absolute awesome knowledge for us. Love it, love it.
You're especially great because you're free, Dan. So thank you so much.
Honestly, honestly, it was the first game I watched since LA stole the Rams. But we'll be honest, the commercials weren't that great. They weren't. So again, I defer to my marketing expert here. How often was it where a company would partner with a rival for a commercial?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you that many times. They would. They've done it in the past, right?
Yeah, like Coke and Pepsi would show their logo, and like the Coke and Pepsi guy, they would fight the truck. I remember those were big ones.
That was a great advertising campaign.
Yeah, that did gangbusters for both of them, I think, because it really was pretty neutral on who you were choosing. Right there you go. Then you Blue Moon. So Blue Moon did a commercial. If anyone saw it, was absolutely crazy because the entire commercial was Coors Light and I think Bud Light. So Bud Light, Coors Light. It's a Bud Light commercial. It's a Coors Light commercial, and so they were fighting back and forth, back and forth. Tons of marketing, tons of logos shown. Whatever, drinking beer, the taps with both of their logos. And then at the end of the fight that they have in the bar or whatever, they're like, "Nope, this is a Blue Moon commercial," and they show a Blue Moon bottle.
Are they not owned all by the same?
No.
Are they really not all owned by Ambev?
No, Coors is definitely not owned by Ambev.
Okay.
I mean, Blue Moon might be one of the two.
Blue Moon definitely owned by one of the two.
Yeah, Blue Moon is definitely it was purchased years ago by one of the two. But I'm pretty sure Coors and Bud Light are not. They are rivals. They are rivals in the.
There goes Rolls. Thank you. The interesting one was the
Miller Lite. There you go. It was Miller Lite.
Coors is better. No, Miller didn't realize till Monday morning that Miller owns both Coors and Blue Moon.
Look at that.
It was an advertisement for all three of their beers. Yep.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. So there you go. You answered my question. So Coors and Miller, I don't remember them being the same company, but I guess they were or they are now.
At some point, all of the beer companies. It's like there's only two beer companies.
Yeah. It's Anheuser-Busch, which is owned by the big conglomeration overseas now. And they've purchased it. You know, if you enjoyed an indie beer or a local beer for many years. You enjoyed it, and it became popular. It was then purchased. It's always been purchased.
There's no competition anymore. A beer company, upstart comes up, they get purchased. That makes so much more sense, and that's brilliant. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, Rolls, thank you so much for bringing that up because I really, first off, I forgot it was Miller Lite. See, that's how interesting because I forgot that Miller Lite was even in the commercial. Like for some reason I thought it was Bud Light, but I remember Coors.
So in your head, you remember the weirdness of beers competing against each other in the same ad, right?
But then I remembered at the end was the marketing genius of it was like, no, it's a Blue Moon commercial. And then at that moment it was like, whoa.
Yeah.
So, Rolls, you're absolutely right. 80% of the time you don't remember the product, you remember the commercial.
Right. That's why it's all the more important that the product pops, right?
Right. I mean, like,
now, I just want to say someone mentioned that the commercials weren't that good this year. I think it might have been Rolls.
Yeah.
I do wonder if it's because we are not the target demographic anymore, everybody, right? Like once we hit 40s and 45s, marketers do not care about our dollars, right? Or they do, and they already assume they have our dollars, right? We're already branded. So those ads are targeting 18 to 30-year-olds, which I don't think many of our demographics is in that group, right?
Right. So, I mean, so
if the ads aren't that good, it's because you're like, this doesn't appeal to me like it used to.
So as a marketing person, I mean, that demographic once you hit your 40s, right? I guess the idea is that you are already a branded. Lifetime.
You're already branded.
Rare
that you'll switch. Yep.
It's rare that you'll switch. You've already chosen your poison. You've already chosen your poison.
It'd be hard to switch someone. Like if I've been a 25-year Pepsi drinker, I'm probably not going to switch to Coke from an advertisement.
Right.
It's just not. I probably wouldn't try any Coke from an advertisement. Hey, Stadium Arts, thanks for jumping on.
What's going on, buddy?
He's calling us the spiciest meatballs.
So,
I'll take
what's interesting is, and again, I sent you this picture. I like Super Bowl always fascinates me because marketing always fascinates me and what sticks and what doesn't stick. But there's always tons of car commercials and whatever else. And I don't want to show any of these on the show because they'll probably demonetize us or hit us with copyright because it's not our commercial or whatever.
Sure.
Also, like I don't need to give them more space, right? But I sent you a picture of this at the store a few weeks ago where if you didn't realize Sierra Mist is dead, right? So Pepsi, Pepsi killed Sierra Mist.
Sparkly,
so you can't even remember it. It's the
Starry?
Starry, the new lemon lime soda for Pepsi, is called Starry.
Yeah.
And honestly, like I would have thought with a relaunch for a new lemon lime soda, which Pepsi has never been able to hit, because I think Sierra Mist is not the first one. They've had multiple ones prior to that, and 7-Up is not theirs. Everyone always thinks 7-Up is Pepsi. It is not.
It is not. It's bottled by some Pepsi bottlers, but it's not
Yes.
there.
But yeah, I can't. I don't understand like why they did the rebrand right before, because it seems like it was only like beginning of the year right before Super Bowl, but there wasn't a single commercial unless I missed it. Did anyone see a commercial for this new soda?
Oh, do you think that they would have done a soft launch and then built the advertising campaign around?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they might have like put the name out there, because I feel like I walked in the store and was like, "What's this?" And sure enough, it was within the Pepsi products, and I was like, "What happened to Sierra Mist?" Which sucks because Sierra Mist, while is not my choice for lemon lime, because nothing beats Sprite, right? I mean, we've all come.
I think that's why you don't spend millions of dollars putting that advertisement.
Right. Because Sprite has definitively cornered the lemon lime soda conglomeration, the whatever corner of the market. Sierra Mist had the best cranberry. They had their seasonal was there.
It was super popular, which is amazing to me. Team Mandori says, we're all well. Thanks for jumping on, Team Mandori. I appreciate it.
Welcome.
Much better now that you're here.
Pizza Hut play their commercials during pregame, and we order Pizza Hut solely based on their ads. Yeah, no, absolutely. Commercials.
It's pretty good. Rita got freaked out by a commercial that looked like it was, I guess the TV was glitching.
So everyone, I mean, this was again good marketing. During the show, I think it was post halftime or right before halftime. They the Tubi commercials. There was a commercial for Tubi, and they made it so that they were talking, and all of a sudden it paused, and then it flipped back to the main menu of whatever popular media device you were using. So it looked like maybe an Amazon Fire interface or whatever, and it booped out, and it like showed all the apps, and moved over and started another app, and it went to the Tubi starting logo, and it loaded like you were loading a movie. So apparently there was all sorts of people that were freaked out. They're like, "Oh, my TV!" They thought they had changed the channel. Someone sat on the remote or whatever. There was like outrage, but I was genius marketing. And
is Tubi another streaming service?
It's a free one. It's like one of those like free TV, free movies, probably tons of advertisements. It's TV.
Is it the shows from the from other dead networks?
No, because I'm sure they've got tons of venture capital money right now, so they've probably purchased some like rights to probably popular shows that aren't really like that popular, but might have been open to like, hey, let's run you on syndication. We'll throw you up on here, and you'll have advertising ads between it because there's no way to stop it.
Yeah, no, we spent 25 years bringing back regular TV. We've come back.
We did. My sister messages me right before the game. She's like, I wanna watch. Do you have a login for Peacock? And I'm like, no, the Super Bowl is on Fox this year. And I was like, and I don't have there's not really a Fox login unless guess you can. I don't know. You have to use your cable provider or pay for one of the services or whatever. And sure enough, she's like, she had to go sign up for a free temp trial for I think YouTube TV, just so that she can watch Super Bowl.
Oh, but you pay for YouTube, so you watched it that way.
Yeah. So like I went to a buddy's house and he had it streaming or whatever. So
house, what?
Yeah, I left my home.
Got other friends?
I do.
It's unacceptable.
Unacceptable.
No, that's fantastic. I'm real happy for you.
We watch the latest episode of NCIS on there sometimes. See, there you go. Yeah. So Tubi does have like newest episodes. It's interesting. So again, it's got to be a way for them to throw TV up with ads, but it's free. So that's almost like a good thing. No one wants to pay for another service, but let's throw popular shows up, but run ads in between them. And sure enough, it's on demand, but still get advertising dollars like if it was on TV. They've just literally reinvented TV.
They reinvented TV. Did they not reinvent TV? I guess you can now watch it on your own schedule. Maybe I should.
Right. Well, it's on demand.
You know what I can do? Maybe I should just swap out all of my kids' apps for TV and just give her Tubi and be like, you are now living the life that I did. Can you still pause? Because if you can still pause, then it's no good.
Well, I think you could pause while you're watching, but you can't definitely skip. I don't think you could skip ads.
Skip, yeah. I want her to have to get up and run to the bathroom when the commercials are on, and hope she doesn't miss it.
Yeah, Dan, they had a few commercials, so they really dumped some money at the Super Bowl. They had that one where it switched the interface, and they had another one where it was like these giant, really creepy human-sized rabbits would like kidnap you and like drag you and throw you down a hole. And of course, you're like going down the rabbit hole, and then sure enough, they show you falling down this hole, and it's like Wonderland with all the TVs, like it was.
Oh, okay,
right, but it was creepy because it like you're someone's sitting there, and all of a sudden this like big giant rabbit pokes its head around the corner and is like dragging you off, and like
I don't like this.
I don't like this. I broke out the antenna for the Super Bowl. That's interesting. Yeah, some people had to do that. I mean, if your TV has it built in, some TVs nowadays don't even come with like a tuner on it.
Yeah, I don't think mine comes with a tuner. That's pretty fun.
Tubi is good for Me TV, MASH, and Perry Mason reruns for the win. Yeah. Sometimes there's some old.
There you go, Rolls.
It's that old TV. That old
and probably the advertisements are all like insurance companies,
Rollgain,
hospices.
Yeah,
like the kind of places you're looking for. Rolls.
Don't use dirty catheters.
We buy gold. You're gonna be fine.
The cool minted like Eagle coins because it's only be minted one time.
Made for TV. I love it.
So I want to show this. The marketing has been great.
Oh, that's right. We got some movie trailers, and I haven't seen any of these because I didn't see any of the marketing.
So one of them, of course, is the wonderful Super Mario commercial that they showed for the movie. It was and it has a phone number that you can call. So let's watch this because it's a
phone number. What?
Yeah. So I'm gonna throw it up, but I have to kind of start it.
All right.
We're the Mario Brothers, and plumbing's a game. We're not like the others who get all the fame. When your sink is in trouble, you can call us on the double. We're faster than the others, you'll be hooked on the brothers.
Thank you, Super Mario Bros. It seems like the only thing you haven't drained is my bank account.
Yeah.
For super service, call or text Super Mario Bros. Plumbing today at 92955-MARIO. Or reach us on the World Wide Web at smbplumbing.com.
I like it. It's Queens, New York, though. That's good.
So I watched a bunch of like little call outs and shout outs and whatever and Easter eggs and whatever.
On that
they did great. It's fantastic. First off, they brought back the 90s theme from the Super Mario Super Show, which everyone was like, oh my God, it's amazing that they brought that because you would have never thought they would have ever referenced that.
It was an advertisement for 40-year-olds. Sure.
It was advertisement for 40-year-olds for sure. All sorts of little shout outs, but when they show the map, they show the car like going into the Bronx and they stop it and they pull it back. I was like, is that on purpose? Like, no, we won't do the Bronx. Oh man.
So sad.
Yes, correct. The woman in it, the voice actress, is Princess Peach from the original show. So I thought that was
that's pretty cool.
All sorts of little call outs, little products, little street maps, names on the map or whatever. If you pause it and whatever. Also, if you call the phone number, you get a voicemail and it's Luigi on there, Charlie Day, and he's like, leave a message, whatever. We'll call you back, for whatever.
Oh my God.
And the website is like an old GeoCities looking website.
Let's go, our Flash.
Yeah. It's absolutely fantastic. So what is it? smbplumbing.com. I'll pull that up. Yeah, smbplumbing.com, and they really did a good job on that.
Yeah, it was actually, are those the actual voices? Like, is that actually Chris Pratt?
Yeah, that was actually Chris Pratt. Wow, the website is like
chugging.
Yeah,
yeah, probably. Everyone's on it, showing it off at exactly the same time, even though it's Wednesday. Everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, Dan's like, okay, I'm soloing his voice then. Yeah, I mean,
he's doing. Look, it's fine, man. Like as
it's
geeks,
me, Mario. Come on, everyone can do this voice. Like everyone can do it, Joe. Come on, you can do it. Go ahead, do the Mario voice for me.
Hey, yo, I'm Mario. What?
Oh wow.
So here we go. Here's the website. It's got all sorts of like as seen on TV, all sorts of little Easter eggs. If you click on stuff, different sounds.
Locally trusted.
Yeah, locally trusted. Reviews. All sorts of weird sounds. Like there's all sorts of Easter eggs and reviews. Bro's mom. The Mario Brothers are the very best in the business. They're polite, professional, adorable, and treating me like family. Careers.
Wow, this is like an old website, but also modern in its careers. Yeah, no, okay. Legals and credits. Nice.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nintendo.
Apply now. Coming soon. Still working on an application process. Check back later. Yeah, no, it's great. But when you call the number, you get when I click on it, actually wants to open up FaceTime and call.
Oh God. That's good
man.
stuff. What a smart campaign.
Yeah, they did a good job. It played during the Super Bowl, and of course, everyone was just like, "Oh my God, it's great!" Yeah, that's fun. That's good marketing right there, man. That's
It tells me nothing about the movie. However,
I mean, do you need to know more about the Mario Brothers movie? Also, by the way, I appreciate the fact that they said
really complicated, unlike all of the Mario Brothers games I played. For the record, it looked like a very complicated plot. Like, yes, I need to know more about the movie, please. Much in the same way I need to know more about the Sonic movie, I need to know more about the Mario movie.
Fair enough. I catch what you're throwing there, sir. Oh, man. Yeah, so they had that. They also had a Guardians of the Galaxy trailer, so I really want to watch that because I actually haven't seen it. I actually haven't seen this trailer, so I'm interested.
Oh, okay, great. So this is the last James Gunn Marvel film?
Yeah, this will be the last. Also, the last Guardians of the Galaxy film, and probably the last time we see some of these characters.
So Chris Pratt had 2 trailers during the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, man, definitely. So let's.
Does anyone else beat that record? I'm just curious. Have we had the same actor in 2 movies being trailed? The Super Bowl?
I mean, there's a few actors that kind of run through there. Like The Rock has probably had 1 or 2 at the same time, and there's those actors that have those like waves where they like release it. They filmed a bunch of them during a year or 2, and then they all release.
They all release at the same time. Just curious if they're all advertised during the Super Bowl, which would be pretty amazing.
Yeah, I saw Serena Williams in 1 or 2. That ad was like the Caddyshack-esque ad for Michelob Ultra, I think is what it was, if I remember correctly. I can't even, again, they had Tony Romo as kind of the Bill Murray character for Caddyshack. It was weird. I don't know what they were trying to tell me. I don't know who it was for.
Maybe I'm wrong about the marketing campaigns. Maybe we thought they were
people that drink Michelob Ultra.
Yeah, old people drink Michelob Ultra, right? Old people? I don't drink it. Do you drink Michelob Ultra? Is that what
because it's supposed to be young. It's a light beer.
It's a light beer, right?
My weight.
I don't think young people drink. I really don't.
No, they drink seltzer now.
Yeah. That's why it's 8 cans for a pack, Joe. It's still 12 up here, baby.
It is. Let's watch this trailer.
I watch now. I'm wondering when they're going to.
I'm Star-Lord.
They're going to do it, man.
I formed the Guardians. Met a girl. Fell in love. That girl died. But then she came back. Came back a total dick.
Oh, please. He left out some important information, but that is the gist of it.
I get the same old dreams, same time every night. Fall to the ground and I wake up.
My sacred mission
Is to create the perfect society.
He didn't want to make things perfect. He just hated things the way they are.
Man, James Gunn really knows how to do the music, though.
Yeah.
I want you all to know that I'm grateful to fight beside my friends.
Incinerate them.
We were always searching for a family until we found each other. Are you ready?
Yeah, Warlock?
Ride?
Yep.
We'll all fly away together into the forever and beautiful. beautiful sky.
Whoever it was that you were in love with, it sounds more like her.
Her? That's ridiculous.
Do not bring me into this.
Don't even.
Knock it off!
What? Just never noticed how black your eyes were.
They were replaced by my father as a method of torture.
He picked a pretty set.
I didn't want to laugh, but I still did.
It looks good. Yes. They really did. They really like to pin it on Chris Pratt on that one. That for sure.
Yeah, that's because he was like he failed, right? He failed to take off the glove, or he got
also like he was written in a very like they really like the way they wrote him for that scene was just in a very like you're gonna be the guy that's gonna jack everything up kind of thing.
There's always one.
Yeah, for sure.
So
that looks like a good trailer. Good music.
So I mean, I'm just gonna say it. It looks like an interesting movie. The trailer wasn't very good.
What? Really?
It just wasn't. It was over edited, is what I'm gonna say. And I'm okay
with that because
it didn't really show what I loved about Guardians of the Galaxy. It was just flash cuts of like it just wasn't a very good trailer.
Right, but I also will counter that because I appreciate the fact that it's all because I don't need long scenes showing me every action scene, right? Like
yeah,
like I don't need it to. I don't want it to tell me the movie. Don't just give me little like 1-2 second clips of what I'm going to see, and that'll like entice me. I think I get what you're saying for sure, but also I think with the first Guardians of the Galaxy, the first trailer kind of introduces you, right? Kind of gives you these characters by now, so just the little snippets. Yeah, you should.
You're making a lot of assumptions about the. I mean, I guess maybe the trailer's not for everyone, right? Maybe the trailer's for people who've never seen the movie or people who are just getting into the series, right? I mean, when did the first Guardians of the Galaxy come out? My kid's never seen it.
That's on you, brother. Like that's on you. Can someone like is there a grading card for this on like the
no, I mean, how many Marvel like she has not watched all the Marvel movies. She does not have access to the Marvel movies, right? Guardians of the Galaxy has adult jokes in it. Like it's not I don't want to have to explain this shit that she's going to be a little bit older before she can watch it. See, there we go. Thank you, Dan. Thank you.
Really, Dan?
Yeah.
Not a single Marvel movie?
I mean, not any of the Marvel movies is a lot, but that's fine. I can appreciate that. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. It's definitely more adult. It's not as bad as Deadpool, but it is definitely more adult than the others. There's a lot more references that I would have to deal with. So yeah, it's look at your face.
I'm trying to think of what's adult about it. Like the Jackson Pollock like comment is probably the only one that I could like think of that's like really.
I don't have it memorized, but I remember thinking, okay, she's going to be older before she can watch this one. That's all.
Yeah, damn, my oldest turned 13, so we could watch them, but we haven't found time.
Who could ever find the time to watch 1,500 movies?
No, all 27 Marvel movies or whatever. I get it. But I don't know. I know my kids have watched it. We've watched it. I think we watched the second one. I think we went to the movie theater to watch the second one.
Yeah. So I guess like here's Stadium, right? The trailer's a little too chaotically paced, but my body's still yes. I totally want to see it. I think Guardians of the Galaxy is a great trailer. The second was a little weak, but it was still great. I just I feel like a trailer should evoke some sort of feeling, and this one went from like jokey Chris Pratt to Chris Pratt screaming in pain. Like it was all over the place.
I think
he didn't build a narrative that made me like interested in the film.
Agreed. I think the counterpoint to this is the third time we've kind of gone down this road with them, and one of the big standouts of the Guardians of the Galaxy like movies has been that James Gunn has been absolutely on point with the music. Like the music has always been kind of a big thing. Like his tape, the soundtrack, the hits. So the song playing in the trailer.
The music doesn't have the same evocative feeling it does for everyone else, but I'm with you.
I mean, it's literally their marketing campaign for the first one and the second one was the soundtracks. The second one, I have the big Doritos box MP3 player with the whole soundtrack on it. You are not
You are not the barometer for success for a campaign.
I'm not, but I'm just
You
saying,
are.
like, someone can.
I'm sure this
correct me on
soundtrack is going to be very good.
The first soundtrack like made it up to like the Billboard charts, which is interesting because all of the songs on there were from like the 70s and 60s. So like all of those songs hit chart like made it up on the charts again because they got all playing. And it's the same thing like Stranger Things, right? Like you get an old song and it becomes popular. That soundtrack was popular for that summer. And the same thing happened with the second soundtrack.
You know who else was popular? No, I'll stop. It's a good soundtrack. It's a good, huh?
Go ahead. What was popular?
Huh? No, I mean Hitler, right? Like you can say popular is not a barometer for good, is what I'm gonna tell you.
I just
What's
wrong with you?
It was a great soundtrack, but I haven't listened to it since the time it came out, right? It's not something I go out and seek and put on. I'm not waking up in the morning and be like, man, I want to listen to the soundtrack for this movie. I don't do that, right? That's not who I am. Do you do that? Have you woken up in the last year and said, I'm going to put on Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack number 1?
Yeah.
You're such a weirdo. You're a bad person. And you should.
As a matter of fact, I've got part 1 and 2 are actually a playlist. They are a actual like playlist on Spotify and Apple Music and whatever called, part 1 and 2 mix. And it plays part 1 and 2 in a row. And because it's such a good mix of like 70s and 80s music and whatever else, it's just a good playlist. Like it's a good playlist to play. So
it is
because
a good playlist. No dispute there. It is a good
right.
playlist.
So I don't like I put it on because it's actually a good eclectic mix of like a big genre of music.
Literally would rather listen to anything else. But yes, I'm with you. Yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool.
Because it was such a great movie. Not the other way around. Well, I mean, right. Not all the songs on the soundtrack are great, but a lot of the songs were like, hey, I remember this song, or hey, and if you've seen the movie enough, there's certain songs that you listen to even now when I'm not listening to the soundtrack, they might play on something else. And I'm like, man, all I can ever remember is like the intro to the part, to Guardians of the Galaxy or whatever, or this
music of the movie.
part.
You're like, oh, I remember that music video. Oh, no, wait.
I mean, my kiddo does that, right? I mean, how many kids, this is again, just how geek culture works and how the time, frame works. There are lots of people that are younger than me by at least 10 years. My sister is probably one that could be a good gauge for this when she's in her late 20s, got to be 30 soon, where they remember certain songs that are from like the 70s and the 60s, but they only remember them because they played them on Rock Band or they played them on Guitar Hero.
Sure.
Like a lot of those, or how many of us our age were introduced to certain music because they were on like a Tony Hawk soundtrack.
Sure.
So what I'm saying
I was around for when they were originally put on the albums, but yeah, I get.
Of course you were, you old man. I'm just saying, like, even then it was music that was new that we could have, but maybe we didn't discover it until we had it in a big compilation like a Tony Hawk soundtrack or a specific video game soundtrack. And I think movies like Guardians of the Galaxy, which again, I'm speaking in the sense of like how Marvel movies worked pre-Guardians of the Galaxy. None of the Marvel movies had popular music. It didn't have like popular secular music. It didn't have like top 40 hits or top hits of the 80s or 70s or whatever. All of it was orchestrated music, the Avengers theme or whatever else. So the music and the soundtrack was the theme for that movie, and it's kind of carried over. I don't think any of the other Marvel movies, maybe a few, have had. Yeah, Ragnarok finally. Yeah, after that had they brought in more popular music or secular music or whatever you want to call it. I think
that's also a fact of money. Disney willing to spend more
money.
Sure,
absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that's why they only use the 70s soundtrack because the songs were cheap, right? Attached to a good product, if they stuck to the Rise of the Robots, they'd be hated, much like when songs are on Let's Dance. I don't quite get that, Pandora, but I'm with you.
Well, Let's Dance is interesting because Let's Dance isn't as popular as maybe Rock Band or Guitar Hero are now. I mean, every year we get a new Let's Dance game. And if you have a kid or a family member that really is into the Let's Dance stuff, then yeah, they get to see that music and kind of remember. The Let's Dance has kind of almost become the equivalent of now. That's what I call music 2023 or whatever. And or Kids Bop or whatever the case may be, right? Like whatever cover of popular music for that year. again, it's just I think it's cool. The soundtrack is good. You're right. Whether you like the trailer or not, it was relevant. The point is like here we have the third one, and it's again really pushing that
and it
like,
looks
soundtrack
over the top ridiculous, right? Like there's all sorts of stuff going on. The setting in the back, the colors are phenomenal. Everything else about it looked great. I didn't think the trailer was very strong, but I think I don't remember seeing the first trailer. So maybe this is just me.
The first one was just a teaser for
Oh, there we go. Okay,
we get very little.
Good deal. So please, everyone, when you send me the hate mail, just at least acknowledge that I do want to see the third Guardians. I will most likely enjoy the third Guardians. I just did not enjoy that trailer, right? Actually, I did enjoy the trailer. I just didn't think it was very good. Like Chinese food.
Like Chinese food. Reviews are coming in for the next Marvel movie, of course, Ant-Man, Quantumania, and of course, it's already kind of getting mixed reviews. I don't care. I'm gonna go see it. I'm excited. I haven't seen a Marvel movie in the theater for a while.
Wait, is it? It doesn't come out till Friday. How is it already? Oh, mixed reviews.
Because you know how the media works, right? Like the other reviewers are getting it, so it's already like at 40% on Rotten Tomatoes.
There's already a woke mob out there ruining it for everybody. Is that what they're doing?
Sure. That's the way it works for sure. But that said, though, I'm trying to pull up the next trailer.
This is the new arc, right? This is the start of the new arc. So the fourth arc is done for Marvel. This movie's the first one of the new Marvel villain, right? This is the Kang new Marvel villain is now this one, right? The fourth arc.
Yeah. This is the new
Kang, series, whatever the hell they call it.
Yep.
I'm excited for this. All right. Oh wait, what are you putting on instead?
I'm gonna put the next trailer on. Is Pedro coming in and out? Is he chopping up or is he just me? No? Anybody? I mean, if he's coming in clear for everyone else, I'm glad.
Interesting. Usually you would chop up too, but who? What now? Yeah, it's cautious. It's cautious, Stadium. You're right. Yes. And Dan says fine with me, so it must just be you. That's interesting. Okay. Good.
Yeah, because you're chopping on me, but like, is my stream coming in clear? Like, if I'm chopping, then it would be my connection. But anyway,
I haven't seen any choppiness at all.
Yeah. Let's bring this up. So this one's an interesting one because this is one of those like movies where, if you follow the controversy with DC and whatever else, and just the mess of marketing with that and The Rock and Black Adam and Cavill's coming back, Cavill's not coming back, Gunn has taken over. So James Gunn has now moved over from DC. He is now the head of media for left Marvel and has come over to become the head of media for DC. And I am stuttering a bit. Interesting. Okay. With that in mind, though, The Flash was a movie that was filmed, has been in the can for a year and change. And during that process, the lead character, Ezra Miller, has had all sorts of controversy, all sorts of like arrests and like illegalities. Did
I imagine he kidnapped somebody? Like, didn't he kidnap two people or held them hostage? Like, wasn't there like... there was definitely off-the-wall bonkers nonsense coming out of his news front, right?
Right. It was all sorts of like craziness, like kidnapping and like bar fight and like punching someone and like running from the cops, and he had a warrant out for his arrest in like Hawaii and just all sorts of craziness. And out of all of the news and people that were dropped and cut out of the movie and whatever else, I guess the situation here seems to be that DC can't cut this one out. They've invested way too much money. It would have been too costly to maybe recast them this far in, considering that in this trailer he plays multiple roles. Like I don't know. I'm trying to think of like what they could have done to kind of cut him out, and I don't think they could have without canning the entire movie.
They could have given him
this movie.
Like the opposite of Cavill, right? Just put the
right. So this is at the same time, the being excited for this movie is weird because it's a movie that like I don't know where it takes place anymore, considering that there's a whole reboot that's happening soon. From my understanding, this is the movie that reboots things. It's not the start. It's not the first movie of the new DC world, but this movie is kind of a multiverse movie for DC. It is taking characters.
Can we, Joe? on the Mid-Geek Crisis, can we just give up on trying to connect it all and just say, hey, here's a Flash movie we're going to enjoy? Can we do that?
I would like to.
Let's do it. Let's say, here's a Flash movie we're going to try to enjoy. Let's do it.
Right. The hard part is it's got too many connections in it.
No, there's no connection.
No connections. All right, no connections. Let's watch this trailer for this
called
fun
Easter eggs, Joe. They're called Easter eggs.
Let's go for it. Let's go for it.
Let's put it on.
Another timeline. Another universe.
Ooh,
So why do you want to stay and fight to save this one?
Because this is the world where my mom lives. I'm not going to lose her again. Time has a pattern that it can't help reliving. Different people, different worlds, drawn to each other like magnets. My face. You stole my face.
If you were to go into the past, you have no idea what the consequences can be.
Bruce, I could fix things.
You could also destroy everything.
This can't be happening. I completely broke the universe. Zod,
We've been waiting for you.
This guy.
I created a world with no metahumans. And now there's no one to defend us.
Want some help?
You are?
Yeah. I'm Batman.
If I can't undo what I did, if I can't get back, there might not be a future. What's the play? Batman, what do we do?
We try not to die.
It's not Clark.
My name is Kara.
I'm Barry. We're Barry. Barry, what are you doing? Our kids are going to want to see this.
So
Yeah,
I wish I could be the DC executive.
Let it out.
I wish I could be the DC executive who's like, but he plays two roles in this movie. Like,
Right. This is
like so sad. Like, it looks like a fire ass fucking movie. Like,
Right?
I'm not even interested in the DC universe. This looks fantastic.
So this movie, from my understanding, this movie has played well. The test
Looks
audiences have said it is amazing.
Yeah.
And so that's the like this
right there. It's so many mixed feelings.
I have mixed feelings. Like, here's a character, like here's an actor that should not be working. Like,
Rolls.
It looks good. It looks great.
And Rolls is a tough critic.
I know, right? He's a tough critic. He's a tough critic. I'm excited for it, but I'm also ambivalent. Like, it's like, of course,
I know.
As a DC guy, I'm gonna be there day one. Let's be honest with you. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna buy my tickets, but like, it hurts because it's one of those scenarios where like I'm a glutton for punishment. Here's a movie that's gonna have. It has so many tie-ins, so many like characters.
Can you just wait a week? Because I feel like going opening night rewards the studio. If you wait a week, you send a message and still get to enjoy it. Like, I don't like. Can't you just wait?
Ladies and gentlemen, if this is the first time you've joined the Mid-Geek Crisis, you will know the answer. Is no.
I've already bought my tickets. Is
My
Joe's
tickets are already
answer.
pre-ordered. No, seriously, like I can't like
your mixed feelings did nothing. You're like, oh, these are such mixed feelings. Here you go.
Man,
Oh, yeah. Here's my mixed feelings.
Dan, I agree with you. That R is a good thing, but I'm not gonna get an R if I can't get a good quality. Like I'm not watching, movie with a freaking smartphone cam that's been recorded, and like unless it's like an actual high def like rip of some sort, it ain't happening, Captain.
They're
Like,
almost all high definition rips. Are there still hand cams out there? I don't...
Well, I mean, no, we just have 4K and 8K phone cameras now that can film this stuff. It's just
I'm trying to remember the last movie I watched that was a really bad rip. Like most of the ones I watch are very, very
yeah. I mean, but most of the time, Dan, whenever a leak or a rip comes out, it's very soon. It's after the movies come out from theaters and like maybe a month or so before it comes out on like digital or whatever, or the moment it hits one of the digital, whatever, you get a digital rip. And so that's how you get it. But I haven't seen an actual legitimate leak of a high definition cut of a movie prior or while the movie's in theaters and not at a streaming service.
Yeah, only when the North Koreans are involved.
Yeah. Got a handicap ripping Wakanda. Right. Like,
handicaps.
This is one of those scenarios where I'm like, I've become too bougie when it comes down to my movies. Like I'm not gonna spend my time and my energy to sit down and like pull up my movie theater at my home and watch like a bad rip with bad audio. Like it's just no.
I don't care.
No. That said, though, if studios gave me the option to pay $25 from home, I'd do it.
Yeah, that's true. I would too. So you're going to be there day one. I'll probably wait for it to arrive on the pirate shores.
On the pirate shore are
the pirate shores
for sure. And at that point, I mean, Wakanda Forever. Again, Disney kind of did it right. Like it's not that long after it's in the theaters to when they put it on Disney Plus. Like that's how you work, and you're paying for that subscription. So that is definitely a way to do it. It's almost like if Warner Brothers had a channel that could do that, something like HBO Max, but they seem to be weird right now about that. I don't know. Anyhow.
Well, I mean, DC movies do show up there eventually.
They do eventually. Black Adam did, but they're not a day one thing anymore. No, they're not doing a day one thing, and they're not doing a hey, let's wait maybe 3 weeks and then we'll do it, that sort of thing.
I still can't get I can't get out of the head of that DC executive who's so sad.
Who's like, he's in 2 roles. Like we can't cut him out. Like
exactly. It's physically couldn't. He did what now? But
they totally bet the farm on this kid.
They really and he's great. He looks great. He looks
great. He was a fantastic breakout role in Justice League. Both of the cuts. Whichever one you watched, he was great. He's good comedic relief. Good scene. Like the most memorable scene in that is when they fight. In the Whedon cut when they fight Clark, and then when they the comedic roles that we had in the Snyder cut. Either way, he was a great pick, great choice. He's a great actor for that role. It just sucked that everything he did after that is just like, hey, by the way, budget for Flash is $200 million. Yeah. For sure.
Oh, that doesn't even cart. I mean, they really haven't advertised it much. Maybe it's because they did the Super Bowl and they want to bring it. Maybe we'll see a blitz.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Like posters or anything like that yet. So,
yeah,
should be good. All right.
Real quick, just because we need to talk about it because we need to mention some sort of
do a palate cleanser.
Palate cleanser for sure. So it's nice when you see companies that we support. Especially when they're not digital, kind of get some sort of news story, especially on a big site like Polygon. Polygon put up this story, which I think you'll appreciate. Was as D&D increasingly goes digital, Dwarven Forge brings focus back to tabletop. And this is a thing we talk about here on the show a lot. We talk about, out of all the video games and whatever else that we play, physical tabletop gaming is always something that we like to do.
So much more enjoyable.
So much more enjoyable with friends. And one of the companies that we like to support is Dwarven Forge. They are a great, what do we call them? Miniature? No, diorama? No. What's the terminology that we?
They're terrain. Terrain for your D&D set. Yep.
And that's it is pricey. It is boutique. It's custom made. Boutique is all get out for sure. And they have a Kickstarter right now going on. But as we have talked about, we had a whole episode pretty much dedicated to D&D and how it's like, with the license, and now they've kind of rolled that back, and the OPL, and now it's actually really friendly, and they're catering towards. They listened. They decided not to burn the bridge, but reinforce the bridge actually, which is good. That's it. We should.
They've come around and realized that the people who play their games are the people who pay for their games.
Right. So again, we like to be cynical with corporations on this show because capitalism kills us.
Mm-hmm.
It is nice, and companies do deserve the praise when they actually listen and they go and they admit to their mistakes, and then they decide to double down on the good side of things. Yep. And I think Hasbro, Wizards of the Coast did do that with D&D right now. So good for them for sure. Did we lose it?
No, it's still up.
It's still there. So yeah, with that in mind though, I definitely need to point out that the tabletop side of things is a big one. We spending money and getting friends and playing is great. What is the new
so it's called Lowtown. So they went back, they did cities 2 or 3 Kickstarters ago, I don't remember how many, and they're going back to it. So when the first cities came out, they were generic, kind of Tudor and Stone houses. Later, Team Pandora, thanks for jumping on.
Thanks for joining us.
Around, they're doing sort of the dark side of your city, right? So whereas before it was more like the not a merchant quarter, more like the normal middle class quarter of a medieval city, this is like the grittier side of the town. They call it Low Town, and it's just it's wooden buildings, lots of secrets, rooftop fights, high elevation, low elevation, all sorts of cool things like that. A warehouse district, right? So these are the buildings they're putting out this time around.
I'm gonna try and pull them up now. They've got some good pictures here.
They are not cheap though. I mean, I think to buy into a district, which is one of their larger painted sets, it's a little over $2,000.
Holy moly!
I don't think I'm gonna be able to get into it big this year. I'm probably just gonna get some of the choice pieces, maybe a nice house or two, and move on. I've got a huge Dwarven Forge collection set. Yeah, this is it. So look at that elevation, and I think like.
And when you're looking at this, you see it as one big house or whatever, but that's not actually the case. If you've ever seen these, every roof corner, every wall, all of that is modular. So like the shape of that entire town piece is actually to your liking. Yeah, everything is magnetic.
Yeah, they're D&D, not Legos. I mean, they're like really fancy log cabins. I don't know. They're an action playset for your figures. Even the doors open. And it's all like magnetized and things like that. This set looks a little bit more fiddly than I want for my D&D game. Like, look at those roofs; they're like 4 to 8 pieces each. Assembling it all is a giant pain in the butt.
But that said, though, because this is a kind of like a town set, like, could you imagine, for example, the starting set for one of the most, the starting campaign, the Mines of Fandor, right? Like you could build that town and just leave it there. Like that entire town is built there with all of the like townspeople and the alleys and whatever else, and just
that's the dream, dude. That's the dream. Like you gotta be living in a world where you can keep your 4th edition D&D or 5th edition D&D set on the table for days on end, right? So this is definitely that really is beautiful though. This is really catering to a certain. That door has a little barrier.
Right there, man. Look at that. Let's zoom in on that.
Yeah, zoom in. Oh, that's sexy. That's really nice. So the level of detail is ridiculous. Putting it down on the table for like a big encounter, people like
they always ooh and ah.
People you played on my Dwarven Forge table.
That fireplace lights up. It flickers.
Switch, so it lights up. All those little details. Yeah, it's absolutely luxury D&D gaming. I actually have several of those miniatures. The pewtered things can move. They're not set. Yeah, this is a gorgeous set. However, it is a major investment. The elevation I love. Some of those pillars, they magnetize to the side or they slot in so they actually hold up. It's right there. You see that line right there? There's a slot. So you have a little biscuit is what they're calling it. You put biscuit on one side and you connect it. And the lamps all light up.
So you attach the lanterns and they light up, and so you could like set the lighting in the mood, and at the same time,
Joe's trying to get me to buy this, but
yeah,
I got to reserve. I'm already in too deep with the Lego Lord of the Rings set. I'm in too deep.
Yeah.
This is great. I'm actually taking a look at the budget and seeing how much. It's gonna be tough to get that.
Girl I work with is getting the Rivendell set for Valentine's Day, March 5th. Yeah,
March 5th is gonna be Valentine's Day for a lot of us Lego fans. It's my true love. So yeah, here's the building, putting it together, and it's great if you have an idea of what you want to put together and you can assemble it. It's just like sometimes setting up these setups, even the ones I have, it's like 2 hours to set up for a 4-hour game, right? Which is sometimes a lot of time investment. And if you've got it, go for it. Yeah, it's great.
Love this. I mean, just setting, like when you walk into a campaign on a D&D night at the table, you walk in and all of a sudden you see that laid out right there. You know you're gonna have a great time. Like,
yeah, you know what the action's
the action's gonna be great because you're gonna get like goblins or something coming in, and you're like, you can put your character behind it with a line of sight is there. It's always so cool when you play with physical miniatures and you have that like tactical.
And I love setting it up. I mean, yeah, I set it up for my campaigns for the big moments, and then it's up for a week, and my daughter and I play with it for the whole week after. Like, it's a lot of fun that way too. Did that have stained glass in one of those shots? That one had like stained glass. Yeah, this is this is a nice set. I haven't really looked at it in depth, because I'm dreading the eventual build.
Look at that door right there with the Celtic knot there. It's great. It's great.
A lot of great elevation. The house is up. A lot of time my elevation is just with books, and then I cover it up. Yeah, it's got a lot of gorgeous details. I might just buy a couple, like a house set or 2 house set, just to like something like that. I might buy a set like that just to have some details I can embellish my town with. Right?
Oh, look at that. So this would be like a dock. So that would be like water.
Yeah, a little dock. Exactly.
With a ship and
or witch's hut if you want to decorate it with some vines and things like that. The chimney actually has an open slot where you could put a fogger in there.
Yeah, new kit includes special effects like the smoke generator that pumps smoke out through the chimney. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, you can really, so your players
put a little drops of fog juice in it.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And like you could 3D print it, but this is like high quality indie artists making indie products and have been for years in Brooklyn, New York. It's very cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
Yeah, all of the pieces, depending on how you buy it. So you can buy it raw, just like
we say unpainted, Joe.
But it's raw, baby. You buy it raw. What is it? What's the material they call it? What's the dwarvenite?
Dwarvenite. They call it dwarvenite.
Raw dwarvenite, baby. So they cast it, and you can buy it with an unpainted. And then, sure enough, you can buy it painted, and the price difference is definitely.
Oh yeah. But paint is where it's at. Otherwise, I just have more unpainted plastic in my house. Right? It's so much better to have it painted.
Yeah. Cities Untold pledges start at $158.
That's a very. Oh wow, they're almost up to $2 million
from the
Holy
dungeon
cow.
doom. Leagues above caverns deep. And safely outside the treacherous wild.
That was a really good set, by the way. I'm glad I got it.
The city walls are your party's only safe haven. However, even in civilization, peril lurks around every corner, on every roof, and behind every door.
Welcome to Cities Untold Lowtown.
That's
this
probably like
is our 10th Kickstarter, and we can't wait to show you everything that we've been cooking up for the last
to play around
2
with
years.
it a little bit.
Let's take a tour.
And he's such a nice guy, Nate. We see him at PAX East every time.
And he's like, and he remembers your name too.
He's so good.
But it also has a ton of new functionality. Our new
business,
biscuit
baby.
system lets you build large multi-story structures and then move each floor off as one solid piece. This also enables cantilevered additions, elevated walkways, and a whole arsenal of new decor and accessories. Even better, everything is modular, so the same basic building blocks can be rearranged into countless new encounters. When you're done gaming, these pieces can be left assembled for the next session, or everything breaks down for easy storage. All of our pieces are offered hand-painted if you want to play right out of the box, or get them unpainted if you want to do it yourself. They're also cast in our proprietary dwarvenite, so they're extremely durable. We work in all sorts of fun special features into these pieces, like functioning doors, swappable LEDs, and anchor magnets. We also have a huge variety of ground cover options to fit your playstyle. including our brand new sculpted battle boards for massive table coverage. This isn't our first Kickstarter, so we've been able to learn from all of our previous campaigns to make this project the most flexible one yet. First off, we're offering a number of pre-configured pledge bundles if you want to keep things simple. These range from basic starter sets to landmark buildings to sprawling districts. And we have video walkthroughs for every one of these that'll show you exactly how they work and what's in them.
$626.
However, if you want to really customize your pledge, you can browse our entire collection of component sets and figure out the perfect combination for you. We have a full catalog on the Cities Untold microsite, as well as some guides
one of their sets. Remember, like
on top of all that,
the raffle,
you'll be getting
so I've got a
free
little
stretch
entry
goal
dungeon
packs
set
based
that's
on
like
how much
beautiful.
you spend, no matter what you spend it on. And you'll even get to customize your stretch goal packs, so you only get pieces you're excited to build with. And don't worry if you're not entirely sure what you want right now. You're not locked into any choices until we open the pledge manager after the campaign ends.
Yeah, but then,
so this campaign is the lowest pricing we'll ever have on these sets, and it's the only time we can actually guarantee everything's going to be in stock.
That's exactly right. That's how they get.
Because of this, a Dwarven Forge Kickstarter is always the best time to either start or expand on your collection.
So
we've been developing these pieces for 2
they're
years,
$200.
and the prototypes.
Go check them out if you're ever interested in investing in something like that. What I will say though is that like he mentioned, these Kickstarters are pretty much the only time where they do the run of a lot of these items. So there are certain things that aren't popular. They're not going to hold in stock.
You never see them again.
You never see them again. Also, Kickstarter, well, Kickstarter has become infamous with like companies that don't come through, that don't produce, that like, oh, you buy into it, thousands of dollars in or whatever, and then you wait 3 years or whatever, or it's Star Citizen. Star Citizen is the furthest, I think, the furthest example.
Delivered all 9 of their Kickstarters.
They've delivered for every single one of them.
Maybe a little late, but
depending on what with COVID and all of the other wonderful stuff in the world that happened, and
they've got it down to a pretty sweet.
Yeah, they've got it down to like they set a date, it's going to happen, and.
There you go. Stadium says I'm excited.
Yeah. See, so like, I've backed all sorts of things, and depending on who you back, it'll deliver or not. And documentary stuff like that. But sometimes some of these products are a little ambitious, sure enough, some of them don't go through. But then again, this company is a small business, and I say small because it makes millions on these. But
they basically fund. I think these Kickstarters fund them for the year and a half it takes to build them Kickstarter, right? So
for sure.
And they've expanded. I mean, it used to just be 2 artists making resin, and now they hire a bunch of independents to do the details. So like one person years ago made some nice curtains as a mod to one of their sets, so they hired them to make them curtains and other mods for later sets, right? So it's a pretty cool. It's a pretty cool method for doing.
Stadium. So as geeks, you see these. Someone has a brilliant idea, and then they put it up on something like Kickstarter, and sure enough, sometimes it doesn't come through. But it is an idea that you want to spend money on. Good example. He's mentioning VMU2 is it is a Dreamcast memory card, like a smart memory card and the demand for something like that is there within the like Dreamcast retro community.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not it's not all there, and sometimes it might be the first product for somebody, and so that causes all sorts of problems.
You didn't deliver what you were expecting.
Yeah.
All right, my dude.
But
Steven says compared to the VMU Pro from the 8-bit mods, which would probably be half the price and have more features.
Yeah,
Kickstarters, you wait too long and it's not quite there.
And it happens all the time. There's a and within the retro community, there's all sorts of like things that you buy into. Some of them will open up like a Patreon, and they're like, hey, help pay me monthly or whatever, and that'll fund this project or whatever. And then you're waiting 4 years later, and they've been making thousands of dollars a month on Patreon, hoping. And then sure enough, you can't quit the Patreon because by the end of it, they're like, oh, by the way, if you're still a member of Patreon, however long you were a Patreon member, you'll be first dibs to buy the product or whatever. And so there's one particular infamous like
Patreon and you still have to buy it.
Yeah. But they gave you like a discount coupon. It was a mess.
That's ridiculous.
For sure. So anywho, I mean that's it, guys. Go fund your. Go pay for your geeky stuff. Go do what you want to do.
Hit us up on the Discords. Let us know if you're enjoying the Harry Potter game. And yes, Dan, someone's phone is vibrating.
Yeah, someone's phone is vibrating. That was mine for some reason. Yeah. Anywho,
stop texting him. Stop texting.
I don't know. They don't know. I'm just sure. I don't know.
It's me actually. I'm like, dude, I gotta go to bed.
Yeah, it's telling you like. All right, everyone. Like, subscribe, share. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for spending your Wednesday night with us. I appreciate it as always. Again, go join the Discord. It is available here, right there. Go to the Mid-Geek.com.
Easy to remember.
And again, make sure
you join
to know that we are on Wednesday nights now, not Tuesdays, and we'll be here same bat time, same bat channel for sure.
But we're not Batman. That's always going to be Michael Keaton.
No, but I mean, or Affleck or Pattinson or Bale? No. Anyway.
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton. He's Batman. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Another episode in the can.
Be kind.
Be kind, everyone. Take care.